Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, September 19th. I'm Patricia Valone.
And I'm Denise Douglas. Glad you could join us this evening. As the investigation into Monday's fire at a Lanham apartment complex continues, investigators say they are looking at the possibility that the fire may have been intentionally set. Some 130 residents were forced out of their apartments after fire tore through the complex. In the 5300 block of 85th Avenue, the fire went to 3 alarms as dozens fought the blaze.
I can say that, we're hearing members of the community. They have been providing information to fire investigators. And we take all that into consideration when determining the cause of the fire. However, fire investigators need to take due diligence and go through a very thorough investigation to determine the exact cause. We're here in the community, and again, we're taking that into consideration. However, officially, it's still under investigation.
Investigators say the fire began in an upper unit of Building 5334.
3 people are indicted in a $364 million Ponzi scheme, one of the largest ever charged in the region. And there are hundreds of victims who may have lost their life savings from the investment fraud. Federal authorities say the accused investors bilked money out of more than 400 people and companies nationwide, including in Maryland. They then spent the proceeds on luxury homes and cars, a jet, jewelry, and gambling. Officials announced a series of charges against 2 Texas residents and Kevin Merrill of Towson.
The grand jury returned a sealed indictment on September 11th, charging the defendants with conspiracy, wire fraud, identity theft, and money laundering. When we arrested the defendants yesterday, we took numerous steps to freeze and recover property believed to have been bought with proceeds of their fraudulent scheme. According to the indictment, the defendants defrauded their investors through an elaborate web of lies, duping them into paying millions of dollars into this Ponzi scheme. The defendants told the prospective investors that they stood to make money through the purchase and sale of consumer debt portfolios. That phrase, consumer debt portfolios, is a fancy way of referring to bundles of debt that people owe on their credit cards, student loans, car loans, and the like.
It is our belief that victims of Merrill and Lefford's illegal activity are scattered throughout the United States. The FBI is encouraging anyone who believes they are an investor victim, regardless of the loss amount, to contact the FBI.
Now, authorities have frozen the assets of all 3 individuals and their related companies in an effort to eventually grant relief to the victims. If you think you may have been scammed in this investment fraud or have information on the case, you're asked to email merrillledford@fbi.gov. Meantime, Maryland's Attorney General is warning residents to be on the lookout for investment schemes in the wake of Hurricane Florence. Brian Frosch says red flags for scams include unsolicited email, social media messages, fraudulent charitable solicitations, and crowdfunding pitches or phone calls that promote investment pools or bonds to help victims. Also be wary of schemes involving water removal or purification technologies, electricity generating devices, and distressed real estate remediation programs. Scam artists may linger long after the storm passes to prey on victims who anticipate receiving large insurance payments.
A former Maryland gubernatorial candidate will now be a part of Prince George's County school system. Valerie Irving has been hired as a special assistant for labor relations. Irving will be working as a liaison between the administration and labor unions. You may recall that weeks after dropping out of the race, Irving endorsed County Executive Rashawn Baker for governor. School board member David Murray tells the Washington Post that he's disappointed that the school district jobs are being used as political bargaining chips. Meantime, the school system has also hired Michael Herbstan as CFO and Dr. Christy Murphy as Chief of Human Resources. A new Goucher poll shows that Republican Governor Larry Hogan has the lead over Democratic candidate Ben Jealous. The research says that 54% of Marylanders are likely to vote for Hogan, while Jealous would get 32% of the vote. However, 9% of voters are undecided. The poll also shows that 51% of Marylanders have more confidence in Hogan to handle education and health care.